Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Loyam La Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus. Yahweh the Father, Yahweh Shai the Son. Bahasham means in the name. Okay, and what I had said at the beginning is bless Yahweh Bashem Shai and all praises to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Call Law Yahweh Bashem Shai. Bahasham Kakodash and the Holy Spirit. Double honors and salutations to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone and the rest of the elder bishops. Also to the hopeful, 144,000, all right, and the 1/3 of the true bloodline biblical Israelites, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, as well as the speckled birds, Israelite, foreigner, Gentiles that might look like the heathen nations, all right, but still, okay, go back to the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob on their father's side. Greetings to you. And I was just sitting here thinking that, just complete random thought. So I don't even know what I'm gonna really bring out. Lord's willing, the Lord can feed me with some scriptures, but I was thinking about how maybe I'll title this. We'll figure it out, but yes, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your heart for temptation, prepare your mind for temptation. Okay, that's when it seems like the hell starts, because now the Most High is you have to be proved. You gotta grow, you gotta be born again. Okay, not physically, but spiritually. So you gotta learn, you gotta be taught the correct way, correct doctrine of life, the Bible, prophecy, all these things correct, not according to this world, because this world is screwed up, right? You can overlook. We're so sheltered, all right? Yahweh Bashem Shai keeps such a watchful eye. Let me think of something real quick. Let me see. Because you go from, day to day, as the scriptures tell us, seek the kingdom and everything else should be added. And that's true. Like, yeah, you go through hard times, but the Most High, he'll show you like, yeah, I'm the one that stripped you, or I'm the one that got you, single right now, or you don't have a job right now. You have a financial problem, mental, you got to get those things together. That's part of the fight, whatever your lot is. Okay. Whatever your fight is. Okay. The goal is to abound. Okay. 1 Corinthians 15, the last verse, which means to overcome. So you could overlook all of the great wonders. Because I was sitting here thinking, I have a habit now of saying, just thanking the Lord, and asking him to teach me how to be thankful, because sometimes you could thank him just to do it like clockwork, but are you really grateful? And I'm just growing into that spirit because of the furnace. I was in the furnace for a second. Sometimes the Most High bring that hell upon you and have you there for a minute, and you like, look, Lord, I thought I was chosen, to make you appreciate, the next phase. Because if you don't appreciate it, you always go back. You go back to your vomit, So, I've been kind of complaining to the Lord, but because he's been taking care of so many of and I'm saying little, because my meaning by little, because this is where I'm gonna go with it next, as I continue to explain. We're ready to see those, like, when you read the book of Exodus, Genesis, you read the scriptures, the super spiritual powers, man being awoken from the dead, the sea splitting, Moses split the sea, fire coming down from heaven, Elijah. We're ready to see that, but we can overlook just how much, Yahweh Bashem Shai putting in so much on a daily basis all day. And I'm going to just share a testimony. And I was sitting here thinking, because I've been trying to figure shit out in the spirit, but I'm not the Most High. So sometimes he'll let you meditate it, dwell on it for a while. He'll show you it, and then you get the revelation later. But like my little bro, It's a long backstory because I didn't live in the house with him. You know, his name is Caleb, but I didn't live in the house with him. It's a lot that leads up to this, but you know, he's rich. You know, he's rich in this world, like really rich. Like when people say that rich, they might have, you know, savings, 50,000, whatever, you know, but no, he really, you know, he do that. You know, he don't do drugs. He think he in the truth. He read the Bible, you know, but I cut him off when I first came into this thing. So I'm laying this down to get you to understand the testimony, so you see the miracle in it. I cut him off for all them years. I would say for about 8 years. Ain't talked to him. Ain't seen him. Heard he was rich. I didn't give a damn. All right. Long story short, Most High governed his mind, put it in his mind to give me one of the, you know, he owned property. You know, I don't want to put all his business over on this thing, but he do a lot of big shit. And on the side, he owned property. So he had a unit open. He got his men, he owned a company, construction, all of that. He had his men come through, fix it up real quick, everything, you know, slid me in there. And right now, like my job a couple weeks back, they lost the contract. So I was there for a year. Good company to work with. My bro, I didn't even know. He just like, shit, I got plenty of work. What you want, part-time, full-time, and I'll pay you much more. Okay. And I was getting paid, you know, there. He giving me double what they to do nothing. Okay. A few times because I had these lingering tickets. Some corrupt shit went down. I had to come up 1,000 just randomly and then more. Bro, like, hey, don't worry about the rent. Even I have to force to pay him the rent just to be, because I don't want to be in debt to nobody. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, there's a lot of anxiety, okay, behind that because I don't know him since we was in the world. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I be thinking Jake trying to set you up, trying to reel you in. That's my mom right there. Trying to reel you in just to set you up for a fall, but whatever. Okay. Let me get on. But that's a major miracle. That's a major a miracle from on high, man. Let's get this real quick because I was just praying to Yahweh Bashim Shah. I said I was thanking him for overlooking so many good blessings. Then I could tell you some more shit. Okay, there's a brother in the camp, like clockwork. I ain't never even asked him. He just came to me and he saved my life. He had a car, a nice, you know, Kia Soul. And I wanted to buy one of them things years ago when they first came out. I didn't even ask him, hey, brother, you need a car? Well, I got one for you, don't even trip. Bow, there it was. And there's a little more to it, you know what I'm saying? But then that went out and that car ran for a minute. That was a good car. Okay, the black one was finna go out. I was finna drop some money to try to fix it. Oh, don't even worry, I got a new one for you. You know? Let me get this scripture in first. Okay, providence. I'm gonna look up that word. And see, those are you would consider those little things you could just overlook. Oh, okay, it just happened. Okay, or you know, I'm cool with this person, so it happened, or it's just coincidence. All right, because we ready to see. You know, sometimes that's why I had to apologize to Yahweh Shah, because I'm ready to see armies get jacked up. Okay, men getting spiritual power, the saints. All right, food being multiplied 1,000 times over. You know, in a time of a famine. You know what I'm saying? An angel swooping up and defending us, a chariot dropping low, zapping the new. You know, a lot. You know, because we get examples in the scriptures. Okay, but let me get this real quick. You know, but on a day to day. Okay, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is putting in he putting in heavy work to the point that he's carrying you. He's carrying you. And this is why a lot of times you can get spoiled or you can get ungrateful. And this is why he'll shake you up. If you notice, you know, it's ups and downs because you can't just stay comfortable. Okay, this phone is tripping. So it's just when I'm hitting stuff, it might look like it's normal, but I gotta get a new phone. The screen is jacked the hell up, man. Let's see. God damn, it's not even. It don't even react. And see how shit is closing, and I gotta reopen it, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm hitting stuff, and I'm not even telling it to do that. But okay, this is Matthew 6:33. Okay, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or God, and His righteousness, and all these things should be added unto you. Okay, so you're not supposed to put your worries, your anxiety, your fear, your wants before Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You have to slow it down, take a few steps back, okay, and make sure you're putting Yahweh Bashem Yahushai first in it, whether it's counsel, whether it's using wisdom, prayer, and that's a test in itself. That's a test of faith, okay? But see, Jake, they do everything on their own accord. And see, we're in the beginning of Jacob's trouble. Okay, because we're gonna lose everything. Our faith really gonna be tested, but then we're gonna be given everything. And we're gonna be sustained. So we don't need anything. Like the Lord said, go and go and teach. Go teach the word and don't bring anything with you. I got you. I'm gonna put the spirit on people to open up their houses for you. And I got testimony about that while I'm in this truth. Random people. With the address 1447. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but seek ye the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all these things should be added unto you. So you can actually get what you want, but first you're gonna get what you need. Okay, somewhere down the line, the Lord might go ahead and throw you that bone, whatever it is you wanted in the world, because you reached a certain level, and now you can receive it without getting off track. Okay, and idolizing that shit. Okay, because this thing is about we're in this thing day in and day out. Okay, we're at the end of this thing, so time is already moving fast as hell. So you got to be locked in with the Lord. These spirits are so demonic out here, man. Your spirit has to be get refilled all throughout the day, man. Okay, 1 second. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you catching hell and it seems like there's no end to it, or it's just random. It's, the workplace, you be on edge, you on eggshells because the Lord is building up your spirit. He's bringing you to your breaking point. All right. And you won't break. And the more you get stretched to your breaking point, I call it spiritual sparring. And certain jakes will turn down those spiritual fades, which they'll never be anything. Okay, and die off because they be turning down all of the sparring. Okay, if you want to be a professional boxer, you have to spar. I don't care how cute you look on the bag, how cute your boxing outfit is. Okay, you have to do real live on contact. Okay, you gain experience through that. Now let's get this real quick. This is Habakkuk 3 and 2. Again, I'm just going with the flow, so. So bear with me 1 second. Go with the flow. This is Habakkuk 3 and 2. O Lord Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known. Okay, so the midst of the years, years that went by. We're in 2025, and we're asking the same thing that the prophet Habakkuk was asking the Most High. We've heard your words, we've heard your testimony, your speech via the prophets. We've heard your capabilities. Your title, one title for the Most High is omnipotent, meaning all power. There's nothing you can't do. And just look at creation. Okay, and a lot of you people have accepted the doctrine of the serpent, the so-called white man. Evolution is bugged out. That's contrary to what I just said. The Most High is all power. This is how you got here, So we're asking the Most High to revive those works in the midst of the years. In wrath, remember mercy. Okay, and the Most High is is literally, okay, making inquisition. He's rising up to the prey right now. Because I was thinking, Esau, he's sitting up there talking about how these ships, he's looking out into space and he sees this one giant object, which he believes to be a aliens UFO, coming, just posted somewhere out there in the outer universe, but like on a trajectory to the Earth. And he knows it's nothing else because it's nothing fugazi because he's looking at the trajectory of the ship. All right, and that lines up with the scriptures because Yahweh Shai, this is going to be a good example. Okay. And I was thinking that makes a lot of sense because the Lord said, no man know the hour. Well, let me see if that's right here. Oh, here it is. Acts 1:7. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or seasons which the Father has put in his own power. One second. Because that's not it right there. I'm going to come right back there, though. Because Yahweh Shai, all things were created for him and by him and through him. All right. So imagine that you're the writer, the director, the producer of a movie. You're on set. OK, you have power, on a higher hierarchy scale. You have power to go in there each scene and say, no, it has to be done like this. That's what Yahweh Shai is doing. When he came down to earth, as it speaks in the book of Hebrews, he made himself a little bit lower than the angels. He came off of his throne in the heavens in the fourth dimension. Okay. And did what he had to do. Go up on that cross. All right. So that we can come back in these times. And the thing is, okay, so he shed his blood so we can be covered by it. Right. But now he's directing everything to Esau. Okay, but it's not in his mind to know what time the Most High didn't give it. So that would mean that he can very well be out there in space on some big father ship, as the scriptures speak. Damn, this shit is. It takes so long for me to navigate because of this phone, Salaki. You see what I'm saying? This shit is bogus, man. Matthew. Okay, until he gets the order, and that makes a lot of sense. Okay, and those things travel at the speed of light. Okay, because they're not UFOs; they're the chariots or the clouds. Okay, wheel within a wheel that the Bible speaks about. The horses. Okay, the Bible speaks about, man. Okay, Elijah and Enoch was beamed up. Beam me up, Scotty. Okay, taken away. All right, by what the world ignorantly calls a UFO. Yahweh Shai himself. All right, we're gonna show you that. But let me get this. What the hell happened? You see that? You see that? It just. What's it say, man? It takes so much time and energy just to do one fucking thing with this shit. Okay, but this is Matthew 24:36. But of that day and hour no man knoweth. Okay, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. And we do know the season, though. Okay, we do know the season. The scriptures say we'll know the season. So measure the tokens diligently. All right, meaning the prophecies. You know what season we're in via the prophecies. Okay, and the thing is this. Measure the season. You got to be actively watching. Which means you got to be in the spirit, which also means that the Most High would have to put that spirit on you. You can't choose to be in that spirit. And this is why you see so much religious dogma and so many people that call themselves using these scriptures. Okay, all have different doctrines. Okay, different imaginations. Okay, different pagan, theories. They merge in with the scriptures, the Anunnaki, the you know what I'm saying, hell doctrine, all that different stuff, man. Okay. The immaculate birth conception, all of that. Those are all well-devised fables. Not to say that the Most High can't make a woman get pregnant on her own. No. Okay. But the point of Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Jesus, all right, Joseph, all right, being the father, it gives you, where's that? Matthew, it's either Matthew or Luke. It opens up with the entire bloodline on the father's side. Okay, so the so-called white man, he wants to do away with the Israelite man. All right, so he gave you that immaculate conception when you really read the scriptures. So what I'm trying to say is, let's get back to this lesson. That's what I'm trying to say. But greater things, all right, the Most High is getting ready to revive those works. But pay attention now, because my little testimony that I gave you, that's not even an inkling of things I've seen over and over again. Pretty much Yahweh Bashim El Shai has sustained me something so crucial, okay, and I hadn't had to work for it. The only thing I've had to work for is work on me. You know, it has been a lot of tough times, okay, but you are your worst enemy. And of course, you want to conquer yourself first. All right, Jeremiah the 17th chapter, the heart is deceitful above all things, which is your mind, and desperately wicked. Who can trust it? Okay, and the people of this world, they just go with their mind, with their heart, with their flesh. Okay, and so they're able to be, you know, rigged all up in these enchantments because you got the devil running around. You got the so-called white man, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, ruling this world, as well as those spiritual demons as well. So you going after the flesh, okay, they're going to get you. They're going to get you that way. Okay, they can't do nothing with you in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim El Shai. That's secluded to the hopeful elect. Okay, that's an in-house thing. All right. And he said unto them, Acts 1:7, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or seasons which the Father hath put in his own power. Yeah, because, all right, 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Yeah, what you ignorantly call a UFO. Now, this account is after who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, which his real name is Yahweh Shai. That's what the angel came to Mary and told her to name. Okay, the boy. All right, he was a Hebrew from the tribe of Yahweh. Okay, what was I saying? This account is after the resurrection. Let's hit the top right here. This is Acts 1:3. To whom also he shewed himself alive after his passion by many infallible proofs. What is infallible? Meaning that there's no, like, if you could prove something infallible, it's 100 billion% correct. It's infallible. It's not possible of failing or being wrong, you know. His passion. So it says he shewed himself alive. Yeah, they had just seen him going across. Okay, so for 40 days, he was doing all kind of things to prove that, like walking through a wall and then telling his disciple, hey, look, touch me, you know, look, touch my skin. Look, give me a piece of that food. I'll eat. Look, I can eat. I'm not a ghost. They thought he was some apparition at first. They were terrified at first. He had to lower his power. Okay, and those are the bodies we're going to get. Okay. It says, being seen of them 40 days and speaking of the things pertaining to the kingdom of Yahweh. So he further taught them before he took off. And what we just read was the account after that 40 days when he got beamed up. He got taken away right in front of him as he was talking to him. It says, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. Those were the angels. So he's getting beamed up and they're stuck. And while they steadfastly looked towards heaven, they were stuck after that, like what, with their mouth hanging open. Okay, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai or Jesus. We ain't going to use that name. Hell no. Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Meaning that he gonna come back on a spaceship. All right, I'm not gonna get the article. I guess this will be impromptu. I'm just freestyling this, you know. But that's what the so-called white man in the media is saying, and this is not the first time he's been saying that. So we know the chariots, they always show themselves to us, all the brothers over here at Great Millstone, okay, and the hopeful elect, and even the actual angels. And I'm not capping, you know. So they can very well be just playing throughout the out the different parts of the universe or space near the earth, just posting up, disappearing, going on another mission, going through a time warp, another dimension, come back, okay, all at the same time, watching everything that's going on. That's the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, let's get that Jude real quick. And this has been a prophecy going all the way back to Genesis. For all of you Christians, you say the Old Testament is kind of done away with. The Most High is different. No, you got prophecies in Genesis that still ain't came to pass, like this one. Okay, Enoch, the son of Adam, going all the way back to the account, Genesis, was prophesying of this day, saying the same thing we're saying. Okay, and all the prophets couldn't wait for this day. King David, Jeremiah, Ezra, we could just go on forever. All the prophets, John the Revelator, they all were waiting for this day. Moses, okay, to see this day. All right, this is Jude 1:14. And Enoch, also the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these things, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. Yeah, 10,000s of his saints, the angels, and also his elect, the men that are here on the earth. Okay, because on that day, he's going to beam up his elect from getting hit by those ICBM nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles. And then we're gonna all watch the destruction, the lake of fire, which is Babylon the Great. America's gonna be on fire. And the whore, the beast, all right, the rest of the beast, NATO, the EU, everywhere Esau Edom is, the so-called white man. Okay, and you wicked Israelites, you gonna stay down here, you'll be burned with them. All right. It says, so he's going to come with thousands of his saints to execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all that are ungodly. My bad. It says, and to convince all that are ungodly among them all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. You see, you people call us wicked, but really the Most High, we're not wicked. Okay, because the normalcy in this world is wickedness and treachery. You think it's okay. You just going along to get along. The Lord says, separate yourself. So you're wicked. You know, you point the finger at us. Well, guess what? You got the whole heavens, okay, pointing finger at you, okay, with an angel getting ready to take you out. You know, so it's you got what they say, you got a target on your back, like you got a bounty on your head. Okay, woe unto them that set light for darkness and darkness for light. Woe unto you, meaning to hell with you, destruction. The Most High is going to destroy you. Okay, why you think this world is falling apart? Because the Most High is making inquiry. All right, we're only in the beginning, man. He's inquiring of you people's deeds, man. And it's not good here on earth. Okay, you people wicked as hell, man. Every last one of you motherfuckers. Okay, let's get this. Let's finish this. It says, dang, where was we at, man? These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts, and their mouths speaketh great swelling words, having men's persons in admiration because of advantage. That's one of the main things. You people, celebrities and whoever you look up to. The whole time the Lord sent you the prophets, okay, unraveled these scriptures, laid it right out there on the table for you. Or because, it's not it doesn't appease your want, or it doesn't look how you want it to look. It's not cute. It's not world friendly. You can't mix rap in it and all that stupid shit. You stupid low level niggas. And really, this is how the Lord is talking to you niggas. Okay, because really, it'd be better to humble down right now, because the Lord not gonna do no talking. When all hell break loose, talking and repentance gonna be over, man. Okay, praying and Lord, please help me, I'm sorry, all that's gonna be over with, man. Then the Most High is gonna take joy in destroying you, because right now it is all the time in the world to get yourself together, come up out of this world and see it for what it is, and see how dark this place really is. But as it says in the book of John, the darkness is so great, you don't want your deeds to be revealed. Okay, and you people, you make excuses for one another. You side with evil, man, because your deeds are wicked. Okay, let's finish out with this. But yeah, just going on, we're gonna keep it short like that. I'm gonna get this real quick. And there's so many scriptures we could get, but we're gonna keep it short. I noticed in Chronicles. Yeah, 2 Chronicles 16:9. One of my favorite scripts. And I didn't even have plans to do a lesson right now. I just had that thought. So Salaki, there's no, super plot to this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking like way out. And I think I'm leaving out a lot of my little testimonies because it's way out. I just don't want to tell too much. It's like, and I'm seeing it through my physical eyes, how programmed the Lord got a spirit on my bro. I want to look up that word, providence. Okay, because we got how we receive necessity. It's the same thing as being provided for. Provide is the root to providence. Salaki. English word providence comes from the Latin providentia, meaning foresight or forethought. You see that? Seek ye the kingdom. Okay, seek the Most High first and foremost in his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. Okay, Yasop, add. I want to look up that word right now for add up in there. But pretty much what you need, meaning foresight. So the Most High thought about, he planned it out for you, your destiny. Okay, nobody can swap a destiny with you. Okay, the Most High, if you have the elect, you have a special come up story from nothing. Okay, and so this is why the humble beginnings, the Most High sets it up that way, so people gonna laugh. Why you think the Lord gave? They're gonna laugh, they're gonna talk, they're gonna scoff. Okay, but your end is gonna be perfect. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And people don't want to live by that. They want what they want now. All right. And they get easily offended at the word. Everybody's a hardcore God lover until the word come out. Once you bring them scriptures out, niggas start backpedaling. Hey, let me hear your opinion and all that madness. Well, I don't think that's the correct. I think you making that up. Okay, well, you explain it. Niggas talking about some angels came and had sex with women because they're reading Genesis, the 6th chapter, and they don't understand it. You fucking idiots. But again, the Most High is setting you up, because he said, the Apostle Peter said that many of you will wrestle the scriptures to your own destruction. Because the minute that you read these scriptures and them demons jump on you, and you go out and teach that, and you believe that, okay, you're adding and taking away from the word. Because honestly, the scriptures is a very genuine thing, and it's a very genuine process, and the Lord deals with gradualism. So if he wants you to have that understanding, or if he has a calling over you, he's going to give you the spirit. He's going to put a spirit on you. Okay, but you people are hasty. All right. Okay, and as the scriptures say, you know, I know I'm butchering it, but who told you to take these scriptures into your hand? It don't work like that. Okay. And really the scriptures, when you go back to the origins of them, it wasn't an everybody thing. Everybody couldn't have the scriptures. It was for the noble. It was for the nobility. Okay, so now you people are really more guilty in the spirit because everybody got a Bible on their damn desk. Okay, meaning foresight or forethought. So the Most High, okay, he's always thinking about you. He's always looking ahead. If you're a sincere servant, look up the word servant. Okay, you people want to serve this world, okay, and your ugly social circle or whatever you got going on, some weak ass fucking social group, some shit, you know. All right, but the Most High has foresight for his own, which, all right, this thing is crumbling. A lot of you people gonna learn the Most High didn't have no providence set up for you, man, and that's why it says in 2 Ezra 16th chapter, then they shall know who are his. We're coming into the times, and I can't wait. Okay, and that's one reason I could see the spirit on my spirit that the Lord got on my bro, because he thinks, oh, I'm balling out, I got all this money. You got to work for me. And in my mind, I'm like, I want to tell you some things, but I ain't gonna mention nothing. I'm gonna keep collecting this money from you and using what the Lord has set you up for. That's it. All right, and there's a lot I didn't share with you. I actually was in. Pretty much the route he went, I was actually in on it. Okay. But I took another route and I made that clear to him. Like, nah, hell with all that. I just got to do my own thing. I knew I had to come from humble beginnings and get my ass kicked because I was already coming into the truth. All right. But he further and went out into the world. But it's like, damn, y'all, the whole rug getting ready to get swept from up under you. So I can see the spirit of the Lord that's on him. Because it's like a blackout. Everything else is like a blackout. I can't even reach. Like, it's just like he's there when I need him. You feel me? And that's the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Let me go back and finish with that, because it done moved around some kind of way. All right. It says to look ahead, prepare, provide, which combines. All right, let's get this real quick. Yeah, so you brothers out there, be aware and be strong, man, because always check yourself, examine yourself. One second. Because you could get in that woe is me to the point where the Most High might not see you fit, man. Has any... One second, I'm trying to remember how it says it. Any ever trusted... Hath any ever... man, fuck. This fucking phone is tripping to the point where... I'm forgetting what I'm trying to say, because this fucking phone, it won't even let me type barely. I forgot where else I was going now, because the way this phone is acting right now. Taking 2 business days to fucking look at the generations of old, Ecclesiasticus 2:10. All right. And see, did any ever trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Yeah. So no. All right. The Most High has never forsaken someone that is a diehard follower, okay, day in and day out, one that's serving him, you know, and the phone had to chime. But you bros be strong. You got to check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you cannot be fit. And the Lord can just cast you out. Like he told his disciples, I'm going to teach you to be fishers of men. Okay, we were caught by the hook of this truth, you know what I'm saying? Spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, but we can get thrown back out, man. You get thrown back out. Okay. Get this last little scripture right here. It says, 2 Chronicles 16:9. For the eyes of the Lord, and what are the eyes of the Lord? His angels, which the word angel is mala'ak in the Hebrew, which is a messenger. The eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. Where's that? Amos the 9th chapter. Babylon the Great right now is the sinful kingdom on the earth. That's why there's all kind of so-called UFO sightings. The angels, all right? And this is why the so-called white man is trying to confuse you with ET and all that shit, all right? Because he's terrified. The only real threat to his technology and his sword, which our forefathers blessed him with that blessing of the sword to rule the earth by the sword, is what? The Most High, the angels. Because he can't do nothing with that technology. He can't do nothing with the technology. The technology he got, the Most High gave him, which the angels' technology, the Most High's technology is quadrillion times advanced. It's going to be a flawless victory. So the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth. You see that? And we see them all the time. Okay? Throughout the whole, I might just go outside when it get dark and they're going to pop up, even during the daytime. Okay? For the eyes of the Lord do run to and fro throughout the whole earth to shew himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. Yeah, so when we hear about stuff like that, again, like that article in the media, the government coming out saying that, the military coming out saying that they're seeing these gigantic UFOs in space on a trajectory. They want to call them aliens. That's part of the deception. Of course, they're going to demonize our brothers, okay? Because read Revelation 19th chapter, the angels are our brethren. They look like Israelite men, and contrary to what you people have been taught, and it ain't no women, okay? All right. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to shew himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. These are some of those old works that we're waiting to physically manifest and see. It's all through the spirit right now, because this is a spiritual information war. We're not left in the dark. We're in the know. We're like the Illuminati. We know we have a secret society as well, and only deep things are shared. We have more information than the left hand, than the actual Illuminati. Okay, we're helping them to understand their fate because they watch our videos. Isaiah 13 in the first chapter. Okay. All right. It says, it says to shew himself strong on them whose heart is perfect towards him. Yeah, not to everybody. If your heart is perfect, your mind is perfect towards the Lord, you're going to have that childlike faith, like a child. Okay. The Lord said you can't even enter the kingdom. He can't deal with you if you ain't like one of these children right here. That's what he told his disciples. Because children, they believe their dad is the Hulk. He can't do no wrong. He can't be beat. Okay. You could tell a child anything, they're going to believe you because they're honest. Children are honest. So they don't expect you to fucking lie. Okay. And then you adults, you corrupt these children as they get older because because you're weak. All right. So those whose heart is perfect with him, the Most High is showing us. Okay. And that, and again, that can very be me. I personally believe Yahushua, because when you read Habakkuk, I'm not going to get it. It pretty much entails that when those missiles are shot, it's going to be the Lord that's going to activate those all the nuclear keys and shoot the missiles off. And they show you that in the Apocalypse, in that movie, the X-Men. Okay, which really Apocalypse represents who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Okay, whose real name is Yahushua. Okay, and then when you read that in Habakkuk, it's like the missiles are gonna be right in front of him, and it's like he's gonna crack the clouds and be surfboarding on that spaceship. Remember the Independence Day, the first one, when that giant ship just came through the clouds and it was fire all mingled around it. That's how it breaks it down in the book of Habakkuk. behind the missiles, and he's going to beam up the elect. Revelation 18, Isaiah 26 chapter. We're going to enter into those chariots. I forget in Revelation what chapter, but we're going to look down. We're going to be looking down on the destruction. Okay. And then after a certain period of time and everything is done, we're going to come down off them ships in our new bodies, the hopeful elect. And see, they don't teach you this in these religions. But this is the entirety of the Bible. This is the reality of the scriptures. You have a lot of scriptures. Okay. And you people just want to focus on key scriptures and you don't even break that down right. All right. Herein thou hast done foolishly. Yeah, let me read it one last time. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth. Who is the number one angel? It tells you in 2 Corinthians, I think 10:1. Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, is that same angel that was in the wilderness with the children of Israel on a gigantic spaceship. That cloud by day and fire by night, that was a ship. Okay, because at night, all of those different beam of lights, concentrated light that are on the ships, and then during the day, they take on different formations. Let's just say that. Okay, Ezekiel described the chariots all over throughout the scriptures. There's different type of ships. So yeah, man, we're gonna wrap it up. That's just something to think about. That's all I was. I got some stuff already queued, prepared to bring out, some lessons, some videos, some history. But I'm just thinking about that. That's wild. You get to a point. The scriptures say, you spoil the rod, you'll destroy it. You'll pretty much spoil the child. And so, low key, we're well taken care of without doing half of what these people have to do. Let's get this. Yeah, that's what I want to get. Let's end it with this. Okay, we don't have to do half of what these people have to do to maintain. And it's better that way because we don't have to be anxious for nothing. You have a lot of people with mental conditions and all these different suicidal, homicidal, because they have that constant anxiety and worry and burden of this world. You see people crashing out. Here it is, one of my favorite scriptures. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 11:11. All right. There is one that laboreth and taketh pains and maketh haste, and is so much the more behind. Yeah, so you got people that's on a rat race. They got 3 jobs. They trying to be an entrepreneur at the same time, trying to get married. They doing all these things. Got, a nigga might have $100,000 in Bitcoin, but it says, and it's so much the more behind. And forget the Bitcoin right now, but people are, being pushed to their limit. They're still behind, doing everything they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point, again, the nigga that's rich, he's getting ready to find out he's the more behind because the super elite is getting ready to strip everything from you people. The Bible calls you inhabitants of the earth. Because the Bible speaks about the illuminated ones, the elect, the prophets, the chosen. Then you have the rest of the herd. Okay, which you're like a drop of a bucket. You're nothing to the Lord, as he said, 2 Ezra 6 chapter. Okay, then you got the super elite, the wicked, the sons of the wicked, the sons of Satan. So you have 3 classifications of men: the sons of men, the sons of God, and the sons of the wicked, the sons of Satan. And 2 polar opposites. But everybody in the middle is just like zombies. They don't know what's going on. All right. So it don't matter what you got in this world. And it's so much the more behind. Okay. You're getting ready to go. You're getting ready to be behind. If the Lord ain't, had that providence over your life, man. Again, there's another that is slow and hath need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty, yet the eye of the Lord looketh upon him for good. You see, and that goes back to the angels as well. The angels encampeth about those who fear the Lord. I think that's Psalms 37. Okay, so you might be through. People might be looking at you some kind of way with their eyebrow raised up, or whatever. But it says that the Lord looked upon you for good. It says again, there is another that is slow Okay, you might not have a Tesla. You might not have, the things that people boast about and covet, become covetous about. And neither do you give a damn, right? It says, and again, there is another that is slow and hath need of help. And you even need help. Okay, and don't nobody want to help you, right? Wanting ability, full of poverty. We're not talking about a nigga on Skid Row, because like King Solomon said, you pray to the Lord, give me not riches where I'll be consumed and forget about you, and give me not poverty to where I lose faith in you. Because you could be like a nigga on Skid Row, they ain't got no faith, they're through. Okay, that's a judgment. That's not, you people got it wrong. The scriptures say give unto a godly. Okay, those people are ridden with demons, and the Lord's not dealing with them. He put them in that position for whatever they've done. All right, that's a judgment. You don't know what they've personally done in the spirit. Okay, Most High see everything. When you go home, when you take a shot, all of that. While you sleep, Most High reading your thoughts. Okay, it says in the gut again, there is another that is slow and have need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty, yet the eye of the Lord looked upon him for good and set him up from his low estate. You see that? And that's going to be the story of the hopeful elect. All of these people killing each other out here to get the world's riches, backbiting and being all treacherous to get the word. And they not going to be able to keep it anyway. It's all temporal and it's vanity. It's really not even relevant because you can lose it at any time. And it's going to go to somebody else. Or you could just drop dead. All right, but without the Lord, you're like you're nothing. You're like a puff of smoke that just dissipates into the goddamn. That's what your life is like, man. Okay, it just dissipates into the air, never to be seen a trace of it again. Okay, it says again, there is another that is slow and hath need of help, wanting ability, full of poverty. Yet the eye of the Lord looked upon him for good, and set him up from his low estate, and lifted up his head from misery. You see that? So that many that saw it marveled at him. Prosperity, adversity, life and death, poverty, and riches come from the Lord. You see that? So you people be trying to play the Lord like he ain't got no say what's going on in the earth. Like he's just some clown somewhere on vacation. Like Satan is just doing this stuff. Who you think is doing all this stuff? Let's read that again. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come from the Lord. Everybody's in their lot. And the Most High don't want his to have all these riches on this side, man. Okay, you gotta be wicked on this side. And if you do get riches, then your obligation is to take care of the little ones. Then you have to divvy that up, man. Of course, you keep that. That's your money, but you have to. Now you're like the Lord told that one dude. He was a wealthy man. Lord said, okay, if you want to be down, follow me. And the dude knew that he had too much possessions back at home. The Lord said, forget about all that. Just follow me. He couldn't do it. You see that? And so, yeah, I'm just bringing that out, man, because, the spirit is heavy, and then it's things are getting tight. So we got to stay in the spirit. That's the only way we're going to, see things as it really is. Remember when Elisha, when he had one of his servants with him, and he was on the run from the Assyrian army. I think it was the Assyrian army. They was trying to kill him. His servant was scared, but Elisha had a double portion of the Holy Spirit that he had got from Elijah when Elijah got beamed up by that UFO, by the angels. Okay, he received a double portion at that moment. And what did he told his servant? He said, look, don't be afraid. It's more of us than them. And then he prayed to the Most High to open up his servant's eyes to look into the heavens and see how many chariots, ships was out there. And he actually seen it because the army was coming after them. So that was very, reviving that the Most High would open up the heavens and show, Elisha and his servant, like, look, don't even trip. It's more of us up here. Okay, so it's more of us than these motherfuckers down here, man. That's why King David said this. Let's end it with this. King David. Okay, you niggas worshiping Chris Brown. The fuck is Chris Brown but a court jester, man? I like his music. Yeah, he's talented. But he's just an entertainer. Okay, for a court jester, like in that video, Remember the Times. Okay, sing and dance, nigga. You know, it says Psalms 3 and 6. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. How about that? I will not. Let's hit 5. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh, save me, O God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. See, you got one nigga after you looking over your shoulder. King David said, I wouldn't, if 10,000 of my enemies was coming at me, that's the position we in. Okay? These people don't even know they the enemies of the Most High yet. You know? And with that, man, we're going to wrap it up. Shalom. Blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.